Hey guys, so for today's video I have a super cool makeup tutorial. I'm really excited for this because I've been getting a ton of requests for me to kind of step outside of my comfort zone, maybe try out some new colors, some new techniques. So I tested out this kind of double cut crease makeup look, which I ended up really loving. I was kind of nervous to test it out at first because I've never done anything like it. So you kind of have this obviously double cut crease, but I also figured I would do a kind of reverse lower lash line wing. So it's hard to see it just through here, but I also did kind of a shadow wing connecting on the bottom, connecting to the lower lash line, and I also did like an ombre lower lash line. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this makeup look. Also an ombre lip. So there's a lot going on, but I think you guys will really like it. I personally enjoy it. I feel like it's a breath of fresh air, something different and something new. I'm also going to be featuring and using some Carity eyeshadows. I'm so excited. They're actually sponsoring this video. So thank you so much to them because I'm really excited to share these with you guys. So these are the Carity eyeshadows just right up top here. If you don't know what Carity is, they're an amazing brand that creates beautiful, pigmented, creamy products. They have a lot of dupes to higher end products, and as you can see here, this entire bottom row is MAC shadows. So they actually have a bunch of dupes to higher end eyeshadows, specifically MAC. They even have like a full dupe list, which I think is amazing. So again, on the top row here is Carity and on the bottom row is MAC. I'm actually gonna go ahead and insert a little swatch that I did for you guys, swatching them side by side. And to be honest with you guys, I actually prefer the formula of the Carity ones more. They're just a little bit creamier, a little bit more buttery, and a little bit more pigmented. The MAC ones I just find are a little bit drier. So I just personally prefer the more creamier kind of buttery formula that the Carity ones offer. Let me just quickly share with you guys one that I'm really excited for. So this here is Diva, I believe, by Carity. And then the MAC one is, let me check quickly, Copper Ring. As you can see, they're almost identical. So this one over here is the MAC one, and then this one in the center is the Carity one in Diva. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but the MAC one here just looks a little bit drier. The Carity ones I think are $4.50 for a single pan shadow, so that's amazing. Another great thing too is that Carity actually has free shipping, so that's always good. I'm actually gonna go ahead and leave the link to Carity eyeshadows below, and I'm also going to leave a coupon code if you guys are interested in purchasing. But other than that, if you guys want to check out this makeup tutorial, see some great MAC affordable dupes on the eyes, see how they work, and also check out this double cut crease and ombre lip. Got a lot of going on here. If you're interested in checking out how I got this look, then keep on watching. So first things first, we're going to prime the skin. I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I love this primer because it gives a super smooth finish. So taking the Becca Ultimate Coverage Concealer in the shade Toffee, which this shade is a tad bit dark for me, but it's okay because the foundation will cover it up. I'm just using this to go ahead and cover up some blemishes and pimples that I have this week. I love this concealer because it's super full coverage, so it's great for covering up some blemishes. So for foundation, I'm using one of my fave from the drugstore. This is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless, and I'm using the shade 310. I'm actually testing out this shade. I really like it. It's good for when I'm super duper tan, and it's nice and kind of like a neutral warm shade. I love this foundation, but it does dry super fast, so you'll notice I'm doing half my face first. Moving on to concealer, I'm taking the Urban Decay Naked Skin in the shade Light Warm, and I'm just highlighting underneath the eye and also down the center of the face. I have been loving using this Anastasia foundation stick in the shade Amber for bronzing and contouring. So I'm actually using it on a brush today instead of applying it and then blending it out with the Beauty Blender, and I actually like it better this way. It gave me a super like natural bronzed look, and I'm obsessed with it. I am going to go ahead and take the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, take the yellow shade, set the under eye, and then I'm also going to take that contour shade in the middle and kind of set that Anastasia contour. Moving on to bronzing, I'm taking this L'Oreal, I believe this is called Glam bronzer. It's amazing. I'm just taking that and bronzing up the skin. So setting the other parts of my face that did not get set with powder, I'm taking the NYX HD Pressed Finishing Powder. For blush, I'm taking this gorgeous Milani one. I will leave the shade name down below. I'm obsessed with it. It gives you a beautiful, warm, kind of bronzy cheek. For highlighting, I'm taking this Kathleen Lights Makeup Geek palette and mixing these two shades. This palette is so intense. I really truly do love the formula. Very finely milled, very smooth on the skin, but still super intense. So we're moving on to the brows, which I usually cut this part out, but I'm like, you know what, for today, we're going to keep this part in so you guys can see. I still use my dip brow. It's my holy grail. I'm just taking that and outlining the brow first, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill in the brow and kind of leave the front of the brow a little bit more natural looking with a little bit less product, and I'm using the Anastasia number 12 brush. So I primed and set the eyes off camera. We're moving on to the eye look, which is the fun part. This is Enod by Carity, and we're just using this as a transition. So starting off with Tarte from Carity to begin the cut crease process, we're taking the Morphe E36 and we're just going to start mapping out that cut crease and we're going to slowly build it up. I like to slowly kind of build it up. I find that it helps the blending process, and I'm also switching over to a Morphe E35 and also a Sigma E21. I just find that these were a little bit more precise and they really help to get in there. But I'm also going to go ahead and blend out with the medium sweeper, the E54 from Sigma. I loved this for blending out the cut crease because it blended it enough but still kept it precise, you know? And also the E36 right here is amazing for precise blending. So taking Temptress, this shade was so gorgeous. I'm also just kind of mapping out the cut crease and making it more intense. And here I'm using the Morphe E35, which I love because it's super tiny, so it lets you get really precise. And here I am just mapping out that cut crease on the lid with some MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot and setting it. So we're going to start beginning on the second cut crease. We're taking Temptress again, and I'm just going to go ahead and start mapping it again with the same Morphe E35. I did afterwards switch over to a very thin liner brush, which I actually liked how this worked. This is the 317 from Zoeva, and I'm just kind of really defining it. So we're just going to go ahead and start shading in the outer corner of the bottom second cut crease, and then we're going to start working on the lid shade. I'm taking Diva from Carity. This shade is so gorgeous, and it's really finely milled. It looked super intense on the lid. I love it. I'm just taking that and popping that on the lid of the second cut crease. And now we're going to start working on the lower lash line. I'm just taking Enod from Carity. This is just going to work as a great transition from the lower lash. And now we're going to start working on the reverse kind of lower lash ombre wing. A lot going on in this look, but I really like it. So we're taking the 317 and we're making this kind of wing that connects to the lower lash line. And then I'm shading it in so that we can have this ombre effect. So here's Temptress shading the outer corner of the lower lash. And then I'm taking Tarte and just shading the middle of the lower lash, so that way you have the dark, mid-tone, and then light. So taking some mascara, I'm just popping the Maybelline Lash Sensational on. For the inner corner, I took this pink shade. I figured why not just amp this look up even more and add a light pink in the inner corner, but this turned out so nice. This shade is really beautiful. So I went ahead and applied falsies off camera so we can move on to the lips. I'm taking Anastasia liquid lipsticks today and making an ombre lip. So first I'm taking Ashton here. It's a gorgeous kind of mid-tone warm brown. So taking Stripped, this is going to work as a great kind of way to lighten up the lip a little bit. We're going to keep Ashton just on that outline of the lip so it can really outline and define the lips. And then to really create that ombre lightened effect in the center of my lips, I am taking Milkshake and I am just going to blend it out with my finger. And I find that this works perfect when you want an ombre lip. Just use your finger. They're your best tools. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this look and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.